In Turkey's presidential elections, the Kurdish vote is expected to have a noticeable influence. In the wake of several decades of violent conflict between the Turkish government and Kurdish separatist rebels, the AK party in power today finally has been making progress towards peaceful compromise. The Kurds reacted positively to Ankara's inclusion in the process of the separatist PKK party leader and political spokesman Abdullah Öcalan, who is in prison convicted as a terrorist. This presidential election finds their expectations high, such as this Kurdish resident of Diyarbakir.
Of course I do. Kurds have had expectations for many years. It has never been like this. How can I put it? We are heading to the final.
Who will Turkey's ethnic Kurdish citizens vote for? This 15 to 25% proportion of the electorate has always supported political candidates boasting their own Kurdish identity. In this election, unprecedented in that the next president will be chosen by direct universal suffrage rather than by parliamentarians, they have Selahattin Demirtas. However, it's thought that in the interest of keeping the peace process on track, some might adjust their priorities and give their Kurdish identity a temporarily lower role, a prominent legal activist tells us.
If there were no peace process, if its importance for people wasn't being discussed, I believe Mr. Erdogan would get fewer votes from Kurdish citizens. The performance and personality of Mr. İmamoğlu, his unmoving attitude about the Kurdish issue, and the problems of the Middle East do not make him attractive for Kurdish voters. I mean, there will be no votes for Mr. İmamoğlu. This is what I see. Many Kurds believe that if Prime Minister Erdogan is not elected, the peace process will stop, and that we will go back to an environment of conflict, and that it would deepen and society would suffer more. This is their concern. This motivates many people to support Erdogan. The Prime Minister is using these concerns in his election campaign.
There is a very firm support base for Selahattin Demirtas among the Kurds and in the HDP Democratic People's Party. But for him to qualify for the second round of voting, he needs the support of conservative Kurds, who usually vote for the AK party led by Erdogan. Analysts say he is paying special attention to this in his campaign.
If Demirtas says, let's unify the Kurdish ballot, then he could draw votes away from Erdogan. But so far it seems Demirtas is focused on Turkey's alienated people, such as the minority Alawites and those not happy with the Republican People's Party candidate İmamoğlu. Can that tactic work? Looking at the results of the 30th of March local elections, I would say no. I don't think this will bring more votes to Demirtas.
Kurdish votes in Turkey are distributed among three regions: the southeast, the east, and other parts of Anatolia. In these regions, the AK party usually counts on 50% of the votes, the strongest party. This is because the main opposition party in the country is seen by the Kurds as nationalist and statist. In this context, if their votes were to swing substantially towards one candidate or another, it might make a significant difference.